name is Nikki and welcome back to our YouTube channel, Nikki and Vaughn. Vaughn is working behind the camera as we speak. He's gonna edit the video after I film this. But I'm gonna call him later on dahil siya yung magbibigay sa inyo ng mga trivias. Anyway, napaklik kayo sa video na ito because you want to impress the recruiter. You want to ace your job interview. I know how nerve-wracking job interviews can be. Take it from a former recruiter. May mga umiiyak, may mga nagchitremble, merong mga nami-mental block, at yung iba naman talagang nasa-stutter. Pero huwag kayong mag-alala. Nandito ako para tulungan kayo to ease you through the job interview. So I'm gonna go straight to the tips on how you can impress the recruiter, on how you can ace the job interview. Number 1 tip, nothing beats preparation. Practice being interviewed at home. Pretend as if you're already in front of the recruiter. Know the commonly asked questions and craft your answers based on your personal and professional experiences. But don't sound too rehearsed. Kahit na-rehearse nyo na yung mga answers to those commonly asked questions, mas makabubuti pa rin that you communicate naturally because it will earn you more points. Speaking of commonly asked questions o yung questions that you can prepare for, magbigay tayo ng halimbawa. Ito na nga yung pag tinanong kayo ng recruiter kung bakit kayo nag-apply sa kanilang kumpanya instead of applying sa kanilang competitor or other companies in the same industry. So what you can do beforehand is to look up on the company profile, i-research nyo rin kung ano yung kultura ng kumpanya at pwede rin kung ano yung recent news doon sa company. At i-identify nyo yung mga bagay that gravitated you towards applying doon sa kumpanya na iyon. Pero, may mga tanong din naman that you can't prepare for. Hindi ka naman all-knowing being. You can't be an omniscient being na alam mo na lahat ang itatanong, of course. Kahit pa mag-research ka, magkaroon ka ng lengthy at in-depth research. Para sa ganitong mga sitwasyon, what is given more weight is how you answer the questions. What do I mean? It's not really about answering the questions correctly, but it's more of how you answer it. It's more of your thought process. So, as much as possible, kapag hindi ninyo alam yung sagot doon sa tanong, answer as smartly and as honestly as you can. Alright? Let's now go to tip number 2. Be engaging and be engaged. Ano yung be engaging? Dun muna tayo sa be engaging. You have to show the recruiter your enthusiasm. How can you do this? How can you show this? One of the ways of showing this is through voice projection. So learn how to project your voice. I know that the context of your answer to the questions is far more important than projecting your voice. But the thing is, you want to stand out from the rest of the applicants. So, why don't you do it? Why don't you work on projecting your voice? Puntahan naman natin yung be engaged. Be engaged during an interview means showing the recruiter your interest. Paano natin gagawin ito? Isa sa mga pamamaraan ay ang alamin mo ang pangalan ng recruiter mo at i-address mo yung recruiter by his or her name. Bakit importante ang pangalan at pag-a-address sa tao sa kanyang pangalan? The greatest connection to a person's identity or individuality is her or his name. It is probably the most important word for a person. And it is not only that, it only shows that you are really attentive. Number 3 tip. There are behaviors that you shouldn't, of course, display during the job interview, such as put that away from your face! No! Ayoko na. But this Will you know that there are behaviors that can benefit you, that can work to your advantage during a job interview? Lalo na if the recruiter knows how to or is trained how to read body languages. So ano nga ba yung mga behaviors na yon? Let's hear it from my trivia man named Sacher. Insert clip.
Hi, my name is Bon, and I'm here today to give you some trivias. So did you know that it's difficult for you to answer highly complex questions unless both of your feet are on the ground? Wood says. Furthermore, he added that it has something to do with being able to go back and forth between the limbic reptilian brain and the neocortex brain. So did you know that in layman's terms, planted feet can actually help you go between your creative thought and your highly complex rational thought? So did you know that leaning in is actually a natural thing to do when you're engaged in a conversation? Wood stated. Raymond, though, suggests the same because leaning slightly forward demonstrates interest. So did you know that your posture is an integral part of your nonverbal conversation? This means that your posture plays an important role when you're having a good conversation with someone. So last tip for you guys. So did you know that nodding is a sign of attentiveness?
Number 4 tip. Confidence is the key, but arrogance is not. I always say this. Confidence will take you to places, but arrogance will not take you anywhere. Make sure that the recruiter finishes his or her sentences before you answer the questions. Don't make it sound like you know everything. Even if you're skilled and qualified, arrogance will make you lose to a less experienced applicant. And you don't want that to happen. Diba? Let's now go to tip number 5. Phrasing matters. The use of euphemisms matters. Alam ko, binanggit ko kanina that you have to be as honest as possible, that you have to sound as genuine as possible. Pero may mga bagay that have to be filtered. And there is really a way of saying things properly. Ano-ano yung mga examples nito? Number 1 fact that needs to be praised properly. Even if your past employer or your company, even if they didn't really treat you well, don't ever badmouth them because it reflects more on you than it does with the company. That's the truth. So, say this one instead. So why did you leave your former company? What's your reason for leaving?
My company is no longer offering opportunities for growth.
Okay, let's now go to the number 2 fact that needs to be praised properly. It is already understood that money is one of the motivations for working. Kaya nga gusto mo magtrabaho para ikaw ay kumita. But don't ever say that money is the primary reason for wanting to be hired, okay? Say this one instead. What made you apply for this job?
The ad of this job says that you're offering competitive salary aligned to a person's experiences.
Let's now go to the number 3 fact that should be praised properly. When explaining an employment gap, do not say that no company offered you a job, that no company offered you an opportunity to work for them or to work with them. Cite the activities that made you better. Cite those volunteer work that you really engaged into. I am not saying that you should fabricate things. What I'm saying is that cite those things or cite those activities wherein you became productive, wherein you became a better version of yourself. So there is a 6-month employment gap here. Can you tell me more about this? What did you do then?
So I enrolled in an online class. I also did volunteer work.
Let's now go to the last tip. Do not cry during the job interview. Please take hold of your emotions. Do not let your emotions take over your entirety. There are specific situations that such works. Meron ako nabasang article na pumabor sa kanya yung pag-iyak during the job interview. Pero, more often than not, it is a major turn-off. Why is that? Crying may be interpreted as lacking that supposed strength in character. It may be interpreted that you can't work under pressure. It may also be interpreted as you not having that resilience to battle out stressors at work. So please, do not cry. Okay? I advised against crying during the job interview. Remember that, alright? So let's have a quick recap on the tips that I have shared, enable for you to ace your job interview. Number 1, nothing beats preparation. There are things that you can prepare for, but there are those that you cannot. So for this situation, what you can do is to be as honest and as smart as you can be. Number 2 tip, be engaging and be engaged. Be engaging means showing your enthusiasm para makuha mo ang interest ng recruiter mo. Kapag naman sinabing be engaged, ito naman ang pagkapakita mo ng interest mo during the job interview. Number 3 tip. There are behaviors that you shouldn't display during the interview, but there are behaviors that can benefit you. Number 4 tip. Confidence is the key, but arrogance is not. Number 5, know how to properly praise things or facts. Number 6, don't cry during the job interview. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked the content. If you like the content, please hit that like button. Share this content to people who need to hear this, who will benefit from watching this one. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel. If you have any content suggestions, please comment those below. Again, this has been Nikki. Thank you so much for watching. See you on our next vlog. Bye!